Hello, Year 4 designers. We're going to make a catapult. A really good one. Are we ready? Boo! Yeah! Okay, to make our catapult, we're going to work in pairs and we're going to need these things. We're going to need 4 lots of chopsticks, which are still joined together at the top there. That's important. They're still joined, so don't break them. And then you need 4 which have been snapped in half. There we go, snapped in half there. You'll then need 3 lolly sticks, 3 really nice thick rubber bands. These are going to make sure the catapult's really powerful. And loads of little rubber bands, a little pot, and you're going to need some masking tape. And your teacher's going to need the glue gun on for today's lesson. So let's go. So first of all, what we need to do is join 2 lots of the chopsticks together. So what you do is you have a square end and a pointy end together. Can you see that? And then you wrap around a rubber band a couple of times. It's just to hold it in place temporarily. You do the same at the other end, a square one and a pointy one. And you wrap around the elastic band. There we go. Lovely. Just holding it temporarily. Now remember, you're going to work in pairs to do this, so the other person could be doing the next one. Got to do exactly the same thing. So you could work on this one each, couldn't you? On the other end. Lovely. So this is just holding it in place whilst you are going to put one of the lolly sticks in place. Either end. We're making our frame at the moment, you see. So you slot in the lolly stick and then you get the elastic band and you loop that round as well. Again, just a couple of times just to hold it in place. You're going to need to put more rubber bands on there afterwards. And that will make it really, really strong, which is what you're going to need to have a really good catapult and make sure it's a good strong base. So lots of elastic bands needed. So we're just wedging that lolly stick in there, wrapping it round, wedging it in, wrapping it round with that elastic band. And as I say, put loads more on afterwards. The better you have this, the stronger you have this now, the stronger your catapult will be later. And to be honest, I don't really put enough on this time. You'll see that I have to fiddle later on. So it's really worth doing, getting those elastic bands on good and tight and proper. Okay, so we're moving on now. A little exciting bit. This is where we're putting on the giant thick rubber bands. They go right in the centre of our frame. And you can see when I put these on and make it tight that it sort of bends my frame. So it's really not enough elastic bands holding it there. But it will have to do. So then what we do is we get another one of our lolly sticks and we poke it between the rubber bands and we start to twist it. This is where it gets very clever with using the elastic to make sure it is a really strong catapult. Can you see that there? I'm just putting that there to stop it from moving because it will ping on my fingers. Hold it down there. I'm also going to make this longer because I want this arm of the catapult to be nice and long, but that will also stop it from snapping back. Again, you're working in your pairs here, so someone can be holding this while someone else does the taping. It is a lot easier doing it with 2 people. I struggled a bit by myself, just because things move around and you need that extra pair of hands. So that's nicely on there, and we'll put another piece on. Quite often you'll find that you need to put 2 pieces of tape on instead of 1. In something that needs to be nice and secure, and this is something that does need to be good and secure. Okay, so we have now our firing arm sorted out. Lovely. And now we need to make some supports at the side. So we're going to use 2 of our chopsticks which were split into single chopsticks. Start by putting on a rubber band and get the rubber band over the second chopstick. Again, I don't think I added enough rubber bands here, so feel free to put more on and make sure that they're really, really good and strong. Definitely do more than what I did. So you get the idea? It's going to go into there and be our support. So you need 2 of these, so again, you can make 1 each. do whatever's best for you. So now we're going to just have a little test, and we're going to see how nicely this fires. Oh, it's good and strong. And that's not bad, seeing as my frame is quite floppy with not enough rubber bands. So now we're going to put in supports on the sides here. And we need to lift it up off of the ground, because the bottom of the arm, the firing arm, will get caught on the ground if it's not off of the ground, if you see what I mean. So we just attach one there. Again, I don't feel I use enough rubber bands, so you feel free to rubber band crazy. Go for it, that would be good. There we go, we've got one side on, put the other side on there. And again, having two of you to help is definitely going to be a plus. It's definitely going to make it easier to have one of you holding and one of you putting on the rubber bands. And take it in turns so you can all both experience what that's like. It's nice to share those sorts of jobs. Okay, so then that is her leg in. Fantastic. Now, this is such an important thing you've got to do now. In fact, it's so important, I'm going to put like an alert on like this. Whoop, whoop. You have to pull your firing arm back at this point. It has to be pulled tight. Okay, and I'm going to secure it with a rubber band to keep it out the way. If you do not secure it down at this point and pull it back, it's not going to actually fire. You've got to do that before you put this middle support in, otherwise it won't work at all. Okay, I'm going to just do that. Whoop, whoop. Again, just remember how important it is. You've got to pull the firing arm back at this point. Now, we just go on to secure our middle support. This isn't just a support, because it's also what the firing arm pings up against as well. So again, you want this to be as strong as possible. I only used one elastic band on here, so you'll probably want to use more, because you can sort of see how mine pulls in a little bit and things, because I haven't got quite enough elastic bands on. So just straighten it out if it's a bit wonky and you'll be okay. And now it's time to put on a little pot at the end. Now your teacher's going to use a glue gun to do this bit for you. This is very hot glue, you don't touch it yourself. Teacher just puts a blob on and you can stick it on your firing arm at the end there. And I'll just say again, do not touch the hot glue gun. It is hot and will burn your fingers. Okay, we are ready to play, my friends. Let's release our catapult. Let's see how strong that arm is. Ready? Ping! Oh yes, that's good. Now it's time to play. And we can go. Great fun. So I've made you some game components to have a play with, to have an explore. You're going to be designing your game tomorrow, so I thought it was a good idea just to give you some examples. The first one is our map with the Roman Empire on, and here are some Celtic warriors. You'll be learning more about Boudica later on in the year. So here we go. We've got our little warriors cut out, or perhaps they are worried. You bend over the bottom so they stand upright. Give it a wiggle. And then you can see that we can fire things at them, and that's the idea, to knock them down. And then with the map, we're trying to hit Britannia, because that's where the Romans were going for. So here we go, everybody. Let's give it a go. And kaboom! Yes! Fantastic. And let's have all our little Celtic warriors lined up. Got that one, but it didn't fall over. No, didn't fall over. Ready, steady, and... Yes!